Sometime after finishing my video on The Man from U.N.C.L.E., I realized that I was too factual and dry. That type of review promotes mindless consumption that I simply can't endorse. I can praise the visuals, writing, editing, sound mixing, music, and acting until my voice gives out. But these are just aspects of telling a story. A storyteller has to use all parts to get the intended reaction. If one or more parts fail, the story doesn't engage the audience. We could call them bad movies. If every part fails, we could call them The Room. It's why I hate reading The Last of the Mohicans, but love Michael Mann's film. James Fenimore Cooper's descriptions bore me to death, but the movie captivates me. The story is identical in both film and literature. The film's visuals were faithful to the book and elevated the story in a way the writing simply couldn't. Being too faithful can change how the audience feels. Cormac McCarthy's The Road moves me to tears. The book hints at the horrors of the world. It evokes a father trying so hard to protect innocence and hope in the face of his own despair. The film adaptation nauseates me. The movie simply shows the depravity that was merely a few lines in the book. It distracts from the story. The medium matters. Douglas Adams told and retold The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy across a variety of media. Each medium offered new ways to tell the same story. He insisted that each story was its own canon because of the differences. So, whether you prefer the radio play, the books, the video game, the play, the comics, the show, or the movie, you got the definitive version for that medium. And so, there is wider appeal without sacrificing the feel of the story. Many have heard my rants on poor book adaptations. I've shown quite a bit of nerd rage when a film doesn't translate my favorite stories. Some of these films are perfectly enjoyable for someone who knows nothing of the source material. I've come to realize that these adaptations are telling a different story. The World War Z movie is an enjoyable zombie flick, but it's not the collection of interviews from the book that I love. And that pissed me off. It's a different story. How could they have misused that license? The movie is a balls-to-the-wall action flick. The book had relatable characters, brilliant themes, and a grounded setting. How could they throw away everything that was good about the book? Because they were making a 2-hour movie. World War Z features many individual stories that would be infeasible to neatly fit 2 hours, much less make sense. Length is just another aspect to consider for the story. If it's too short, the story might have gaps. If it's too long, you risk boring the audience. This script started off as a movie review. I was going to wax eloquent about how this movie evokes emotion using all aspects of film, because engaging stories evoke feelings. I'm sure your favorites are all tied up in an emotion like mine are. I realized that I should change how I review entertainment and explain how I'm changing it. When I focus on the specific aspects, I'm selling the movie to myself. I'm a cinephile selling to cinephiles, when I should be selling to potential cinephiles in language that resonates. It's like a car review that neglects how the car fulfills its purpose. The review would be focusing on the carbon fiber body and magnesium wheels. Those terms sound cool. They just don't matter to someone who wants to know how it feels to drive it. I'm going to structure my reviews with how the aspects support the purpose. Both Schindler's List and Hot Fuzz expertly use the medium of film to tell a story and evoke different feelings. Their purposes are radically different, and so too with their reviews. What I'm trying to say is simple. When every aspect is well crafted, the story engages the audience. When the aspects complement each other, the story becomes a masterpiece.